What's up, guys? This is Brandon Wisham, and you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leake.
Welcome back to the program. The show continues to grow. Thank you for the shares. Thanks for the love. Thanks for all the comments that we're getting on the program. We have lots of new stuff coming real soon. New artist for you to meet today, Brandon Wisham. He was working on the pipeline, and there wasn't really a set career path. Knew that he wanted to do music, but didn't know how. And he just started posting cover tunes on TikTok. And then one day, he wakes up to find thousands of likes on a video that he had just posted. He woke up that morning at 5 a.m. to start working on the pipeline. At 6, Bailey Zimmerman had found one of his tracks, and the story kind of goes from there. Back Together is the new single, which you can hear right now. We'll check in with Brandon Wisham in a bit. First, some news. Miranda Lambert celebrates 20 years of Kerosene. So this is the 20th anniversary of the album that really changed her life. It's a special vinyl release with some unreleased tracks coming your way. Winona Judd is going to do her first ever greatest hits tour. I would have thought that most shows from the last 10, 15 years with Winona Judd would have been kind of a greatest hits tour. Well, now they're just making it official, I guess. Rascal Flatts will also be doing Life is a Highway, a refueled duets release. Kelly Clarkson is going to be one of the artists that will be participating on this, reimagining some of their hits.
Wherever there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is Music Row on Tour.
Brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting artists with fans worldwide. Megan Maroney is still out on tour, the Am I Okay tour. Look for her in New York City playing Radio City Music Hall on the 26th. April 3rd, she will be at the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville, Alabama. April 9 and 10, the Pinnacle in Nashville. And May 15, playing the Armory in Minneapolis. Riley Green continues on the road. Look for him at Budweiser Gardens in London, Ontario on April 5th. And May 1st at Atkins Ford Arena in Athens, Georgia. And Lainey Wilson is just wrapping up all those European dates. Look for a couple festivals to come real soon, as fast as actually May 30th, playing the Pepsi Gulf Coast Jam in Panama City, Florida. And June 6th, Carolina Country Music Fest in Myrtle Beach. And then on the 26th, Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brandon Wisham joins the Music Row podcast after this.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
What's up, guys? I'm Brandon Wisham, and you're listening to Music Row with Leake. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. You hear me good?
You sound fantastic.
Thank you.
Typical vocalist. Can you hear me good? Always worried about your vocals.
Yeah. Well, that's our whole thing, I guess, yeah?
I would say so. It's very important to probably your career.
Yeah, for sure.
Belting out the jams. Do you have some sort of special pregame or day of thing that you need to do, Brandon, before you go up on stage just to make sure the voice is in check?
Man, I like to have at least 30 minutes before showtime, no talking, by myself, water, just kind of breathe.
Is that a new thing for you?
I think so, and it probably will change. So I'm a fairly new artist, but right now I think just getting the jitters, the nerves out of the way, and I kind of sing better with the adrenaline rush.
Sure.
I feel like the adrenaline, just something in it, just puts an extra push to my voice. But I definitely have to silence for 30 minutes before showtime. I'm solid.
Do you have someone who's running around reminding people? No,
yeah,
Brandon needs some time. Leave him alone.
No, I usually just disappear. I'm pretty good at it. I'll be in a bathroom. I'll hide in a bathroom, or tour bus pretty good. I'll just lay in my bunk, kind of shut the curtain, have the air on, just kind of sit there for a minute.
Any music playing in your your headphones at the time?
1,000%. Yeah, I'll have AirPods in, just jamming. Some pregame music. Usually Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, whichever what I'm feeling that day. But yeah, that's what I need to do.
I like that you say you're nervous.
Yeah.
When you get some pre-game jitters, pre-show jitters.
Yeah.
Because I think that just means you care.
1,000%. I think if artists, and of course, like it'll get easier as you go. But every artist,
I don't know.
they have that feeling.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of has that.
I think that's what we chase. I think that's the feeling. Live music, when they're like, there's just something about live music. It's like riding a roller coaster. You want to ride it again because the adrenaline rush. I think it's similar. I believe.
I think if anybody ever needed to give a urine sample, they should just be told they're about to go on stage.
Yeah.
And then right away it's like, here you go. Enjoy the sample.
Everything comes when you're 5 minutes till showtime. You have to do everything 1,000%.
What's the career thing? Where did it happen? Where Bailey found you? What were you online just posting things? And when the conversation started happening, were you saying back to Bailey and his team going, what is anybody talking about here? This doesn't seem...
Yeah, so I was definitely doing covers on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook just for family, friends, and with TikTok, it's just a new platform that, I could get more ears on it than my family, other than my family and friends. But I was just doing covers for a while, dude. Just kind of getting the voice out, doing songs I liked, and then...
But this wasn't a career thing. This is like something you're doing maybe as a hobby?
Yeah, at the time, I knew I wanted to do music. I didn't know how to do it or what. I thought, with some of the artists I like, I just thought it just happens sometimes for some people, and it doesn't for others, which is kind of still true, but there's still a lot of work you still have to do behind the scenes before you get there, and I didn't know. I was still working a job, just kind of, I did pipeline with my brother, so... hotel bathroom, just throw a cover up before I went to bed, wake up, they were doing pretty good. And in 2022...
Hang on, we're jumping past the pipeline a little bit too fast because you're doing like a 18-hour day.
Oh, yeah. So
on the pipeline.
I'm posting, I wake up probably, our routine, I wake up probably about 5 a.m., get to the shop by 6, or I say shot, so like where we're shooting our pipe through.
Yeah, the camp.
Get to the shot, yeah, exactly. And then... we'll probably work. Then I was working probably till 8 o'clock at night.
So you get
all day.
You get back to the hotel.
Yep.
You are covered top to bottom in
Grease,
dirt.
Yeah.
And
everything.
it's tracked everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like you can change before you get in the car or the truck that's gonna shoot you back, but it's still
face, hands. My fingernails probably had some black tips on them, but.
And then you put up the sheet, the shower curtain, or whatever you do in the bathroom that night. It's now 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you are doing songs.
Yeah, I'm doing songs, yeah.
Do you think if it wasn't for that pipeline gig that maybe you wouldn't be doing songs today? Because maybe it was giving you that motor to, I don't want to do 18-hour days.
1,000%. I'm so lucky and blessed that I only had to do it for a year. I graduated in 2022, so 2021, excuse me, high school. So... I went straight into pipeline. School wasn't really my thing, so college wasn't really something I was like excited about.
Good paying job though, getting that pipeline.
1,000%. Well, my brother's done it since he was really young, so it was kind of just like an easy pathway into
Was he like a fitter or a laborer?
He started out. Everybody starts labor, but he was an operator, so he's drill operator. He's big boss. Owned his own crew. Whole deal. So. I kind of and I was a little brother, so I got away with a lot of stuff. But.
So you get the gig. Does he know at that time that music is really where you want to be?
Yeah, I told him. I actually didn't get, funny story, I almost didn't get hired. So I went in for my interview with the big boss. And
the big boss, like, your brother?
Bigger boss. Bigger than him,
okay.
Yeah. And he was just asking, and I was like, yeah, but if I have a show, I'm not going to make it to work. And he was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that. But my brother talked to him and was like, yeah, we're trying to get him on straight. Because, like in hometown, music's just like a pipe dream thing. Nobody thinks it's going to happen or, it's just, reaching for the stars. So ended up getting the job. And then I only worked there like 7 months and then stuff started going. So.
See, you say it's a dream that is unachievable and all that. A lot of people have that mindset. I don't know if it's a small town or if you could be in New York City. Yeah. I think music is a real difficult run.
Yeah.
And I think some people are smart enough to know it takes a bit of time.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know, it's you always hear of overnight success, but there's
even,
no
even
such
with
thing.
overnight success, you there's stuff they're doing before to get to that point. 1,000%.
Yeah, like you grew up in the church and you sang with the choir.
Or even Shabuzi, the artist Shabuzi, he was in Nashville for years doing the same thing he's doing now, just trying to get somebody to believe it. And then now they're saying overnight success. No, Shabuzi's worked his ass off for, the last couple of years. I just feel like 1,000% though. I feel like small towns definitely put a weird lock on the word, like success when it comes to music.
I think when it's an overnight success, you know it by the second tour that they do.
Yep.
If they sold more tickets or if they sold less tickets for the show. And if it was an overnight success, they have sold less tickets because they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Weren't
1,000%.
ready to take that stage.
Yeah.
Who were you getting your reps in on the stage to, okay, this is how you're going to perform? Were you watching people on stage going, man?
Yeah, well, I got some cool dates coming up at the end of this year with Tyler Hubbard, which I'm super excited about. I'm excited to see how he does his, stage performances and how the whole band, how the music, runs into each other.
I think he just does like 400 push-ups every day.
He has to. I mean, he is he got
in shape.
Yeah, he's a good looking man, it just all around. He takes care of himself. You can tell.
But he's got the hours on stage now. I mean, probably 30 years.
Oh yeah.
He's got probably 20 years on you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a legend. He's a legend now. He's moving more towards that territory.
Let's go back to the Bailey Zimmerman thing real quick. Who finds who in this situation?
Okay.
Because you're, like we said, you're on the pipeline.
Yep.
And singing in the shower, putting up TikToks of cover songs, and what happens?
So I was doing the TikToks. I ended up writing a song. First song I ever wrote was in 2022, and I posted it on TikTok, not really thinking much about it. And, man, I woke up the next morning with like 10,000 notifications, like no exaggeration. And half of it was like friends and family blowing me up. Like, Bailey Zimmerman, like, reposted your TikTok. Bailey Zimmerman commented on your thing. And what was big on your TikTok before that? Like, if you got thousands from that one thing.
I'm trying to think. Like, it was probably, I did a cover. Oh man! So I did a cover of "Die from a Broken Heart" by Maddie and Tay, and it like went crazy. Right. So that's like the only other success moment I feel like I had. Like just got views, and interaction. So like with this happening, I was like total shock. I was a fan of Bailey at the time as well. Sure. So I reached back out to him. I was like, dude, thank you so much, and he ended up cutting the song and putting it on his debut album.
How did you reach out to him?
So I DM'd him, and it didn't work out at first, actually. So
of course not, because he's getting DM'd by everybody in the world. And who are you at this time? As much as I just reposted your thing, he's probably like, this could be a fake account.
Yeah, and with TikTok, I feel like people are such like, and I do it like you doom scroll, you like, swipe, forget about it, because you're 14 videos deep after that video that
doom
you're not
scroll.
even thinking about.
I've never heard of that. That's funny.
It's just doom scrolling. You just keep going, liking. You don't even think about it. It's just like, So I reached out to him, and he ended up, it was kind of, not hitting me back on Instagram. So I ended up recording the song and was going to put it out because I thought maybe, with it being TikTok, maybe he just forgot or it was just a little thing. And then he ended up FaceTiming me randomly. And
you're like, what the hell is going on?
And he ended up getting, so my friend, so I wrote the song with a guy, Ryan Spencer, my best friend.
Yeah.
At the time. And because like hometown, you don't really have people doing music like as serious as you want to do it. So me and Ryan connected.
He might not be the best guitarist, but he's the guy that has a guitar.
1,000%. Yeah. And he's a phenomenal guitar player too. But he was working at a place called the Blind Horse Saloon, which is in my hometown. And he was like kind of internshiping, like learning how to run the sound. And he wrote the song with me. Bailey's last show on his very first tour was at the Blind Horse.
So
so happened to be like 2 months after he reached out to me on TikTok. It's just insane.
So you send the song back to him over being FaceTimed or whatever.
Yep. He FaceTimes me off my buddy's phone. He's like, dude, come out to the show. I was like, good for you. I got the whole song recorded now, so I can send it to you. We can listen to it. Actually, Tony was there. Tony was there on the bus the first day. So it was like I got on the bus after the show.
Was Tony, by the way, works with Core Management, Universal, not Core, but Universal and Capital and such. And Was Tony fact checking this for you?
Yeah, for sure. It was a crowded bus. It was a crowded bus. Is him, his wife Tracy. We had a bunch of the band guys. Yeah, a bunch of the band guys on the bus, and I actually sang it acoustic with Bailey, played the demo, and then they hit me up the next day. And this guy right here was sending videos to Chief and Simon at the Core, which is where I'm signed at, management, label, and publishing. So little did I know, there was a lot more going on than me just singing on the bus with Bailey.
I think it's wonderful that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a true testament of just by doing things, there's going to be results.
Yeah, show up.
Show up every day, do it, write the song, post the thing on TikTok. Don't get frustrated because it doesn't get pickups.
Yeah.
Just learn to do the craft. And it's a good and a bad. Like, 10 years ago, you didn't have to do TikTok.
Yeah.
Now you have to be an artist who's ready to do it. Could you imagine saying to Kenny Chesney today,
you got to make a TikTok, buddy?
Yeah. You'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that's insane. And I think too, like, going off what you're saying is like, I wouldn't get discouraged either if it doesn't go crazy, because the video Bailey found me on only had like 13,000 views and 1,000 likes, but one of the 1,000 likes was Bailey Zimmerman. You know what I mean? So like TikTok's such a crazy tool of just getting you where you need to be. So if it only has 300 likes, it gets discouraging, but you just got to keep in your mind like who is in those 300 likes that is watching it, and you'll build more as you go.
Now we have an album.
Yeah.
We've got music.
Yeah.
Was the music kind of all there, kind of ready to go? Did you have a bunch of ideas set? Yeah. All kind of in the back pocket, just needed to have the right team to get it done.
1,000%. I think so. When I moved to Nashville in 2023, the whole year we wasn't focused on the look, we wasn't focused on branding, we wasn't focused on music, or releasing music. We were just trying to figure out who I was as an artist, because I was 20. I was 19 when Bailey found me, 20 when I moved to Nashville. So it was like really trying to discover who I was through songwriting. Ended up getting a publishing deal like 3 months in, which is beyond blessed for that. It was the most insane phone call I've ever had, because it was the first of like the career. It was like the first phone call that
we're
actually doing it. I'm getting paid to do this. And so we were just writing songs like the whole year.
Were you working in Nashville at the time?
I was. Or, no, not working. I just moved, cold turkey, quit. I told my brother, I was like, I'm not working with you no more.
Saved enough from the pipeline?
Yeah. I saved a good bit. Yeah.
Thank you,
sure.
16-hour days.
Yeah, for sure. It set me up for a couple months. And then we had Chief and them, Chief and Simon were a really big help, just keeping me afloat and getting me in the right rooms to make stuff move quicker, at the time. And was writing songs all year. That's all I was doing every day, from Monday through Friday. And
were you seeing lots of bands in the meantime? Because now you can see bands compared to a small town. There's
exactly
no bands.
Yeah, 1,000%. And it was like such a crazy, like undescribable feeling of just like, okay, I went from this and then thrown into exactly what I want to do. It was almost like a skip of 10 years of Nashville,
So I know that the material is not out yet.
Yeah, not yet.
But were you nervous playing it for people?
At first, I feel like, so Bailey tour was definitely trial and error for me. I think Bailey wanted to get me out in front of people just for the experience, and like, this is what tour life is like, and, just to kind of hang out and bond with him. So I did go on tour with him at the beginning of last year. And, dude, the set list changed almost every night. I was like, they're talking, they don't like this song. And it was just like, it took a lot of trial and error, like putting songs I wrote when I first moved to Nashville versus
You're saying they're talking, they're saying the fans are
during
talking?
it. Yeah, during some of the songs. But then as I started to play the songs, I had to realize like this is my third show ever.
Right.
So by the 10th show, that you start hearing mumbling back, and like, through TikTok and Bailey pushing and Josh Ross pushing, because he was on the tour as well. They're just really pushing me and like, sharing me around, and people started to, I guess crowd talks and word got around. It was like, oh, Brandon Wisham, new Bailey Zimmerman artist, found. And then Bailey's fans, they started singing back some of the words to my songs. And then I'm like, okay, just like you said earlier, it just takes time.
And it's tough too, because you're an opener in front of two others.
Yeah, acoustic.
So people are really just filing in.
Yeah.
People even had their first drink yet.
Exactly.
Or they haven't found their seats or whatever it is. So there's that fight. But I guess there's a blessing in it because we can get some kinks out.
Yeah, of course.
Get the reps. And then when the bigger stage and the bigger crowd comes, well, obviously you're going to nail it.
1,000%. And the crazy thing is, too, like, once we got, like I said, 15 or 10-ish shows deep, the cap room started to, it started to fill up early, which super crazy to watch.
Let's talk about the first single.
Yeah.
Did you know that it was going to be the first single right away?
Yeah. When we wrote it, it was one of the first songs I actually wrote in Nashville with Brandon Hood and Gavin Lucas. Great guys. I met Gavin through Bailey. He has a bunch of Bailey hits. And when we wrote the song, I think we definitely shuffled through and had different ideas throughout the year of writing. But when I wrote the song, after hearing the demo back, I was like, yeah, this song is super good. And I relate to it. I love the vibe of the song, just the direction we went with the song.
It has some real roots feel to it.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge Chris Stapleton guy. I love his craft and love Luke Combs.
Has anybody said
influence.
Otherwise, though? Let's be honest. You kind of picked some low-hanging fruit there. I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan.
No, for sure. But yeah.
I like Luke Combs, of course.
Yeah, no, he's an incredible
Have
artist.
you seen him chug a beer?
I've seen videos.
1 second?
I want to race him one day. It's insane.
You can do that?
Not 1 second, but I've watched videos. He has a video on YouTube that's like, this is how I do it, and that's like my how to. Like I'm also not a drinker like a lot, but I'll go. It's a little party trick. I'm pretty fast at shotgunning.
Okay.
Fast.
Well, maybe we can do that this evening.
Let's do it.
At Whiskey Jam.
Let's do it.
When you got the call to play Whiskey Jam, were you like, is this really going to be in Toronto? I thought it was supposed to be just down the street and from where I live.
And this is my first Whiskey Jam. So insane. I thought, I had no words really. It was insane. I love that. I love what they're doing too, bringing it to Toronto. They really needed, to get some recognition out here, and especially for country music.
New single, Back Together.
Yep.
Was it always built as a song that was going to be a building song, or was it an acoustic?
Yeah.
And then it just transformed?
Okay, yeah. Production-wise, so when we wrote the song, it was definitely acoustic. In the room, just us, and we did like a little acoustic vocal for it. Then Brandon Hood, he's actually a producer. He's producing, my songs at the moment. He then went, further after the right and added all the production on it. So I give it all to him. He elevated the whole thing and added all his, everything he was hearing. And, dude, I was so in shock because I needed something like that. We were kind of writing cool, like, Morgan Wallen was pretty hot. So we were writing more of that, trappy, country vibe. And then this was like one of the first songs I was like, no, this is country. And it sounds super good. And it feels like me, But
it sounds real.
It does, 1,000%. Yeah. And it's all live drums, like everything, full band in a studio, which I'm super excited about.
Brandon Wisham, thanks for doing this.
Thank you so
much. I really
much.
do appreciate you taking the time, man.
Heck yeah.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.